Frozen is the story of two sisters, Anna and Elsa, and when they're girls, they're the best of friends. But Elsa wounds Anna unintentionally with her ice magic. Elsa has this power to control ice and snow, and Anna is hurt. So the parents, the king and queen, divide the girls, and through this division,
there's a rift in the family.
Right.
And so you have one sister who's completely living in fear and shame about who she is on one side of the door. Got another sister her best friend has just left her and given up on her. And so she's longing to connect. And really, you've got, it's two sisters, one who lives in fear, one who lives in love, and the power of love to help build that rift again.
So you wrote 8 songs for the film. Can you describe your process for writing those songs?
We wrote 8 songs and 1 reprise for the film, and our process basically starts with talking every single day for 18 months. We had a conference call from 12 to 2, and we would
with
just, with the filmmakers, with
right.
Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck. And we would just talk about who is Anna, what does she want, who is Elsa, why does she do what she does? Who do they need to interact with for their journeys to happen? This we would do every single day, and we would attack different moments in the film like a problem that we had to solve. And sometimes they would be solved by, let's do this musically. Sometimes it would be, oh no, this feels like dialogue, let's do that dialogue. But it was the arc of the story was the first. And then the next beat of turning it into a song usually started with...
Right, well, that was the two of us, talking and talking once again about what the characters wanted, how they get from point A to point B. Because the songs need to serve the story. If the songs don't do any storytelling work, then they don't belong in a film like this. So it was us talking and talking, getting ideas for rhymes, getting... inspiration for the music of the song, and then by the end of a day or two of talking, usually we had all the raw material we'd need to write it, and then it would usually go pretty quickly.
Right.
After that.
Once you found the hook, and the hook, for instance, a hook is let it go, where you've got both melody and words that are telling a story. And once you have that, you can build around that. And some hooks came easy, like Let It Go, because she had to let go of her past and let her power go. It had the duality. Some hooks were much harder to find, like First Time and Forever and Fixer Upper.
And sometimes we'd have to write several songs that would all end up on the cutting room floor in order to find the right one.
And sometimes you have to write the wrong one to find the right one.
So what was the first song that didn't end up on the cutting room floor?
That was Let It Go. Idina Menzel's song, Elsa's song of transformation from being this vulnerable, scared girl
person living in fear
to a powerful woman, and the Snow Queen, really.
And what's interesting about that particular song is at the time, the story was very much in flux. And sometimes Elsa did villainous things, and sometimes she was the protagonist. But once we wrote Let It Go, and once we found this vamp, you want to play this vamp? So once you have a character who sings with this amount of emotion, she couldn't be the villain anymore. And we put ourselves in the mindset of someone who would leave everything behind and be stuck out on a mountain, and how cold and scared she would be at that moment, and singing, "The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Now, Idina Menzel does it much better than I do. But once we found that song, we had building blocks for the rest of the movie.
Wow. So tell me about a little bit of how big a role family, the importance of family plays in this film, and how did you guys relate to that personally?
Well, we were attracted to the film first by this image that we were shown. One of the artists did of two sisters behind one, and one was behind a door, and we knew that the story was a story of two sisters and the love of a family.
A family that's broken or divided
thwarted by fear
because of an incident that causes fear to basically create a giant divide between these two sisters. And I think that there are a lot of families who have these kind of rifts where someone can be frozen by fear, related to lots of different things.
And we are in a family. We're husband and wife, and we have two young daughters. And we see this. We see
this dynamic. We see what it's like to
on
have
a smaller scale.
On a much smaller scale. But to have the older daughter slam the door and the younger daughter to be like, "Please, won't you play dolls with me?" And that
Breaks
kind
your
of
heart.
inspired the "Do You Want to Build a Snowman" song.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to play a little bit of that?
Yes, this song, our daughter actually sings a part of it.
That's right. Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would tell me why. Do you want to build a snowman? She goes through the door. It doesn't have to be a snowman. Okay, bye. And you can hear Elsa's fear motif right in there that Kristoff Beck actually used throughout the score to talk about this divide and this isolation that Elsa is living in.
And there's also another song near the beginning of the film that's reprised later on that explains kind of the outlook that both sisters have. Talk a little bit about that song.
Yeah, this was one of the hardest songs that we had to find in the film because Anna was the main character, the main protagonist, and that's always the toughest part I found in creating a story. The want of the main character is a difficult thing to nail down because you don't know at first. You know, okay, that's my main character, but what do they want?
Sometimes you have to have the ending to know the beginning. And we did a lot of that with Frozen, circling and ending, beginning, ending, beginning. So anyway, you've got these two sisters. One is paralyzed by fear, and one has lived her life on the other side of that door and is longing for connection. She grows up and she's looking for love. And this is her song about that.
Right.
And this is the mashup of the two of them, the fear and the need for connection.
Right.
I'll be Anna, you be Elsa.
Okay.
So for the first time in forever,
Don't let them in. Don't
I'm
let
getting
them
what
see.
I'm dreaming of.
Be the good girl you always have to
A chance to change my lonely world.
Conceal.
A chance to find true love.
Conceal, don't feel, don't let them
I know it all ends tomorrow, so it has to be today. 'Cause for the first time in forever.
I didn't know we were doing that part.
That was great. Great. So then that leads into Anna finding love.
That's right.
Right.
And so talk about how you furthered the story with the song in that regard.
We were looking for a moment of connection between Anna and Hans, and we knew it had to go from point A to point F in their relationship.
I would say point Z.
We had to take them from hello to will you marry me? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically realized like it had to be like the greatest first date in the history of the world.
So what would be the greatest first date in our own experience? It would be like riding the Staten Island ferry, going to the Empire State Building, and then singing karaoke together. That's when you knew you had your soulmate. And
right.
so we
and
wanted
just being
it to be
goofy, like letting it all hang out and be goofy together.
finishing each other's
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Right.
So it had this, like imagine it's 2 a.m, you're on a date, and you just feel like you're with your soulmate. All my life has been a series of doors in my face, and then suddenly I bump into you.
Aw. I've been searching my whole life to find my own place. And maybe it's the party talking or the chocolate fondue.
But with you,
I found my place.
I see your face, and it's nothing like I've ever known before. Love is an open door. Love is an open door. Love is an open door with you.
With you.
With you.
With you.
Love is an open door. Incidentally, we like to sing that song at bedtime for our kids. They like it too.
Amazing. So 2 more quick questions. Firstly, you're kind of known for writing comedic songs, and there's a character that we are introduced to in the film, Olaf. Tell us how we learn about his strange obsession.
Olaf is this cute little snowman who he has this charming quality of being totally naive because he was just kind of born a few days ago. He was created by Elsa a few days ago,
and he's brought to life by Josh Gad, who also is one of the funniest men on the planet, as we learned through Book of Mormon. And Bobby really understood how Josh can do naive, and we got to kind of bring that out with him. Imagine you've got a snowman. He's very naive. And he starts saying, "Oh, I love to dream about summer and all things hot." You do it.
bees'll buzz, kids'll blow dandelion fuzz, and I'll be doing whatever snow does in summer.
We're Olaf. He doesn't know.
A drink.
That's one of the funniest parts of the movie by far. And last thing, why should audiences see Frozen?
I think whether you are 3 years old or 93 years old, you're going to relate to the story of a family that's broken and the need for connection. You're going to understand who doesn't have some kind of shame or secret that holds them back. Who doesn't have a longing to find true love, and which of us have not taken a few wrong turns on that path? I certainly have. I'm glad I found it.
And also the film has tons of action and hilarious humor and situations like that, and it's
And
got
snow
something
monsters.
for everyone. Kind of amazing.